And good morning and welcome to the morning show on this Tuesday. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center.
You know what I learned today?
We have no tacos.
I did not learn that because that is just the norm around here. But I learned that if you say the word nipple, it makes our intern Brandon very uncomfortable.
And Theo.
And Theo?
Yeah.
Well, that's because Theo likes to...
God, he's probably turning beet red about now.
Theo and Brandon are both the most gentleman folks probably I have ever met. So.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. We'll keep giving you a rough time. We'll stop giving you a rough time.
You know what's the perfect way to take a break from that?
Give me a rough time and make me do word of the day? Yeah, I know. All right, let's do it.
All right, so go ahead and rip it off. All right, so our word for Tuesday is acquiesce.
Ooh, I know
to accept, comply, or submit tactily or passively, often used within or to. All right, so you want to hear their sentence?
Sure.
Now that each side is willing to acquiesce to some of the demands of the other, a compromise may be imminent. Actually, that's probably one of the better sentences they've used.
It is. You want to know where I learned the word acquiesce?
Sure.
From Pirates of the Caribbean. Miss Swan is trying to negotiate with Captain Barbossa, and she thinks that he's not going to understand the word that she uses, and he uses it back to her and was like, I will not acquiesce to your request. And I liked the sound of it so much, I was like, acquiesce. Yes.
I like that word, so...
So now I have two words that I like, bumfuzzle and
acquiesce.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
All
right.
There's always hope for tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a third word you like.
We'll see.
So.
Okay, we have... I'm not even gonna tease it. We've got Liberty Wildlife back and something really cool in the studio.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna take just the tiniest of breaks and be right back so you can see what we've got in studio today.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center. Wow, it doesn't really even sound the same without the moving of the hands.
Yeah.
But there's a good reason why we're not moving the hands.
Marshall and I are keeping our hands behind our back because next to us we've got Acacia and a Turkey Vulture.
Turkey Vulture, yes.
Who is a little hesitant about movement, and so this Italian lady is holding both hands behind her back. This is so cool. What could you tell us about this guy right here?
So Quana came to Liberty Wildlife in 2010 as a juvenile. And it's a little hard to see right now, but you guys could probably see it a little bit better. But that right wing is kind of up a little bit more against his body.
Yeah.
So when he opens these really big wings, which are about 5.5 feet, he can't fully extend that right wing. And so unfortunately, he can't fly as well as he needs to. He came with a fracture. So it healed really well, but unfortunately it calloused and fused in a way that he does not have full extension of it. And that is why he stays with us.
Okay.
And then he gets to come around and talk to people about turkey vultures.
Okay.
So
wow.
What is the difference between, are there all sorts of different kinds of vultures? So this is a turkey vulture.
Yes. So we have a black vulture and we also have a California condor.
Okay.
Which, as it is, we actually have 3 birthdays with California condors this week, which are huge for us. So we have Millie and Marble, who are permanent residents with us at Liberty Wildlife. Marble is turning 20 on May 11th, which is crazy, right?
How long do they live?
They can live upwards of 60 years. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow.
And then Millie's the kid, so she's just turning 5 this year. And then Malagra, which we had a big hand in helping her hatch and getting back out into the wild, she turns 2 this year.
Okay.
So you might be able to see her at the Vermilion Cliffs if you head up that way.
Oh, cool.
Which is very cool.
Vermilion Cliffs.
Yes, gorgeous up there.
Okay. So, Turkey Vulture, what is there anything that has to do with an actual turkey with this guy?
No, so I really can't tell you exactly why. There's a reason for it. I don't know the answer to that. I probably should know, but I don't. They eat dead stuff. So this is your nature's cleanup crew. So they're going around and they're eating all this dead stuff, or carrion is really kind of the technical term.
Right.
And they're kind of cleaning up all this disease and all this stuff that would be coming into, us and kind of ruining our sort of stuff. So it's, anthrax, or not anthrax, botulism, influenza, stuff like that. Their stomachs are so acidic that it all just kind of dies in there. It doesn't.
Okay.
So
really you're doing us a service.
They're doing a very good service.
So how do they find their food?
They're going to smell for it. So they are considered to be one of the best sniffers of the bird of prey kingdom. So that's why that's exactly what they are. So those are your nares, and that's why they look a little bit different, because they're sniffing for their prey versus looking for their prey.
Okay.
And so
talk to me a little bit, like he's got kind of this red face, which is just like skin? Is that just?
That's just skin.
So and then the beak almost looks like bone.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And so imagine they're trying to get through hide and this thick kind of stuff with mammals and all these different things. So they have a very powerful beak.
Yeah.
So their talons I'm not necessarily super worried about, still strong.
Yeah.
But their beaks are where a lot of that power is. And they're featherless, because imagine trying to get into all this really gross dead stuff, and all that gunk gets on their faces. So what happens is they're featherless because they can go out, they can sunbathe, and all that gross stuff just bakes off.
Okay. So when he blinks, it's almost like this film.
Yes.
What's happening?
That's a nictitating membrane. So pretty much all birds of prey have that.
Okay.
It's basically a third eyelid, and so it's meant to help clean the eye. It also protects. So if they're down and they're getting into that gross stuff, they can close that eye and kind of keeps all that gunk out of there.
Interesting.
So.
Okay. So
I'm still kind of stuck on the, once it gets full of gunk, they go out and it just burns off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, and what's really incredible is these guys can lower their body temperature. Because they're not finding live stuff, they can lower their body temperature to help conserve energy. And so that's part of why they sunbathe. But they have this thing called urohydrosis.
I see a tongue.
So they basically urinate on themselves. So that's why his legs look white, because it helps to cool themselves off. And that's the same thing. All that stuff is clean. So any gross stuff on his legs, that urine is going to also basically eradicate all that bacteria and stuff on his
so
legs.
it's like a self-cleaning machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if what are some cool facts about them, but that seems
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I think that's pretty
gross
cool.
and cool.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
It's very gross, but it works, and it totally works for them.
Yeah.
How are there a lot of these in Arizona?
There's a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
So they're all throughout North America. They go into Central America and also South America, and there's a little bit southern part of Canada.
Okay.
So if you really look, they do migrate. The really cold regions, they'll come down, but they migrate in flocks called kettles, and there can be hundreds up to thousands of them. So if you ever go to Lake Pleasant, I've seen all these birds that are kind of flying in that sort of circle up like that. That's these guys.
I was just going to ask. I took my parents to the Dolly Steamboat at Saguaro Lake, and there were all these vultures, and I was curious if it was that one.
You can get ravens in there. It's all right. Yeah, I'm doing it too. I have to realize which one I'm paying attention to.
You saw a kettle of vultures.
I saw.
So that's a kettle, but you can also get ravens in there. You can get zone-tailed hawks. You can get all kinds of other birds that they're just riding those thermals to conserve energy.
Okay.
Hang out. These guys don't necessarily want to flap and use all that energy to hunt and do what they need to. So that's where you're going to see them just kind of flying around and hanging out.
I'm going to ask you a really dumb question.
There are no dumb
So,
questions.
in Disney's Robin Hood, the vultures are really dumb, and they just kind of waddle around and are ignorant. How smart is this guy?
I think they're pretty smart.
Yeah.
I think they know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is also really gross, but part of the way that they protect themselves if they're down, because they're down, they're eating, they're doing their thing. If something were to sneak up behind them, they regurgitate half-eaten food. It smells horrible. It's one of the worst smells you'll ever smell, but it works because it's so disgusting that nothing wants to come any closer. So I think they're smart enough to kind of figure it out. I think they got it.
a lot of weird talents.
Yeah.
Dude.
It works for them though.
I know, burning
totally
stuff
works
off your
for them.
face and peeing on yourself to clean yourself.
Well, this has been really neat, learning about a turkey vulture, seeing one up close. This is
totally
really
different,
incredible.
right?
where can folks learn a little bit more about Liberty Wildlife and all the stuff you all have going on?
Absolutely. So we are located at 2600 East Elwood Street in Phoenix. We do have our summer hours going on right now. So on Wednesdays, Saturdays, Sundays, we're open from 9 to 11. It's $5 to get in, and you can still do a private tour, see all of our permanent residents. I think we have about 70 birds, but we also have reptiles and scorpion and a tarantula. You can also see into our triage, basically our hospital window, to see some of the birds that are coming through there as well, or animals, I guess I should say.
Okay. Well, I gotta say, it's so funny because every time you all come in, I'm like, they're not going to be able to top last time. Like, they're like,
I
that
know,
was
and they
so
always
cool.
do, and I'm
I
like,
know.
oh my gosh.
I know. So thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you for
all
having
of
us, you
these
guys.
amazing creatures with us and educating us on who they are and about them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always one of our favorite things on the show. So thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll let Acacia put her arm down, and we'll be back right after this with our fun stuff.
Indeed. Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
Fabulous Arizona Center.
We can use our hands again.
I know, we can use our hands again because if you just saw, our Turkey Vulture has left the studio.
He reluctantly. We found out that it didn't want to go back in the box, so it put out his wings really
Exactly,
far.
to not go back in the
Yeah.
box.
So, being Limerick Day, we used the help of AI, and we have some Turkey Vulture limericks to share.
Oh, we have multiple?
I have two.
Oh, all right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
A turkey vulture soared through the sky with a keen, beady glint in its eye. It circled the ground where lunch could be found on carrion fresh, not too dry.
Oh.
And here's supposed to be a funny one. You see the kind of sense of humor my AI has. A turkey vulture named Lou loved dinners that smelled like old shoe. He'd sniff and he'd glide with guts as his guide, a true connoisseur of the ew.
Aww, that's adorable.
Isn't it? You know what else I find adorable? When you talk history to me.
Ooh. All right, so have you ever been to Papago Park?
Papago?
Papago, yes, Papago Park.
Our beloved intern Theo says Papago, and we like it better than Papago. Anyway, yes.
Okay, so, and one of the most notable features of Papago Park is Hole in the Rock.
Yes, it is.
And so that has been used by the Hodam as a solar calendar. It's like you can still find petroglyphs as well as holes and things that align with solstices, as well as equinoxes, because it was used as an agricultural calendar by the indigenous communities. And on this date, back in 1892, Charles Poston, who is kind of said to be the father of Arizona, he put a mining claim in for it, not that it necessarily wanted to make money, but just wanted to preserve it. And so before it became a park and just as a way to just be like, nope, this is mine. And so, and he was he wanted to build a temple of the sun there without knowing that it was a sacred space to the indigenous communities around.
Yeah.
And so, but that temple of the sun never got built. He was a Zoroaster, which meant he really worshipped the sun.
Yes, I do.
So that's why he's now down in Florence in his own pyramid where he can do just that.
And I'll say this too, if you have seen pictures of that or you've always wanted to go visit it, a lot of people think it's hard to get to. It's actually not. It's
Right.
very easy, easy walk, just a little bit of a
Right.
hill
It's easy to get to, spectacular
Um,
photos. There's always people kind of hanging out there.
Yeah, if
Great
you-
place to watch sunset.
It is, yeah. And so, if that's something that's been on your bucket list, but you've been worried about the hike, don't. It's super easy. like Marshall
Right.
said, it does tend to be really crowded.
Right.
So, try to find, we actually, it's not quite the same as sunset, but we went at sunrise one day, and that was cool because there was nobody
Right.
there and
Right.
kind of had it to ourselves. So that was nice. But
Indeed.
also, real quick before we move on to the next saying, because we are celebrating, I just want to say thank you to Lindsay for making these Rice Krispie treats. They have made my day delicious.
Ah, very good. And how else can we celebrate a delicious day?
I don't know, Marshall, you tell me.
Well, how about with a delicious cough drop?
Go for it. They're right there.
So, celebrating the humble lozenge that soothes sore throats and suppresses coughs. It's been doing it for centuries. Back in ancient Egypt, they did find lozenges filled with honey and other herbs that were supposed to soothe your throat. The modern era of things like Hall's, Ricola, Fisherman's Friend, they have a variety of formulations that bring in menthol, eucalyptus, honey, and other herbal extracts, all to just make you feel a little bit better.
Can I just say one of those Smith brothers had a really impressive beard in that picture?
Indeed. I just thought, what a great box. So.
I'm sticky.
And then also for movie fans, today is Top Gun Day.
What is it?
Top Gun Day.
Oh, Top Gun Day.
Yeah, so
Okay.
back in 1986, this movie appeared on screens, creating a sensation about that flying action with memorable quotes, Tom Cruise, and many other phenomenal quotes that have lived on.
It was such a good movie. Even the second one was really good and super fun to see in a theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movies.
As well as today is Cocktail Day.
Isn't every day cocktail day in your world?
Well, pretty much. But this is really playing upon, this is when it marks the publication of the first recorded definition of a cocktail back in 1806. It was described a cocktail as a stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. And that's still kind of that magic recipe for cocktails today.
Well, that seems like a good one to celebrate. Have a cocktail after
And
work.
it's an easy one to celebrate
Or
as well.
before work.
I mean, or before
Go
work.
to lunch and have a cocktail.
A 3-martini lunch. Is that a bad thing?
Okay, we're not encouraging alcoholism.
Yes, no.
Just
no.
today.
But
you
just
can
on
treat
Mad,
yourself
just
to
but
a
that's I
cocktail.
love like watching Mad Men, and they're always like having like
I know.
the 2-martini lunch,
I know, that's true.
and I'm like, wow, and then they're going back to work and getting things done.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. And then to round out things we can celebrate today, National Leprechaun Day.
Today?
Today.
Why not on St. Patrick's Day?
So they offer a whimsical nod to mischief figures of Irish lore. The exact origins of this holiday remain unclear, but they are part of that Celtic mythology, not Celtics, that's a basketball team. I was like, wait a minute, that's the wrong pronunciation. But I didn't realize the term leprechaun is believed to derive from an Irish word meaning little body.
Little body?
Little body.
Okay. I thought it was little people, little body. Okay.
So,
Okay.
and the word is, I don't know, maybe like lecaporin? I don't know.
You got to say it with more authority, and then I'll believe
Well, I'm not
you.
really sure. I just kind of was like, oh, I was going to avoid trying to say it. And then I was like,
You
oh.
decided to go for it, huh?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little too much work. So
Okay.
there you go.
Well, happy Leprechaun Day to all who celebrate.
Well, I guess if you have enough cocktails, maybe you'll see a
Have a
leprechaun.
green cocktail.
People wonder why, wow, it's not even St. Patrick's Day and you're,
I know, that's weird.
yeah.
That it's not
I
on
thought
St.
I just thought it was a funny holiday to be celebrating so far away from St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And not to have any reason why. It's not like, oh,
Why not?
exactly.
Why not?
So, I think it may have something to do with Cocktail Day.
Why absinthe? But that's the green fairy. That's not a leprechaun.
Oh, true. another way to celebrate
I don't
as
know how
well.
to tie it in.
So yeah, exactly. I was like, not quite sure. But besides maybe trying to find a leprechaun in that pot of gold, what are some other things we could be doing?
Seussical Jr. is at ASU Care in Scottsdale at 6 p.m. You can join the Cat in the Hat as he tells the whimsical story of Horton the elephant who discovers a speck of dust containing an entire community of tiny whoos. Follow Horton's journey as he protects the whoos, faces challenges, and proves that a person's a person no matter how small. So you saw the Seussical, the adult one,
Right.
at Phoenix Theater. This is Junior, and I actually just got to spend 2 days at ASU Care judging auditions for the High School Musical
nice.
Awards. I love that space so
It's
much.
such a great space. You realize it's a house.
Yeah, it's so
So,
cool.
yeah.
I love it. But anyway, tickets are $30, and again, that's at 6 p.m. So. There is a free jewelry class at Nourish Phoenix in Phoenix at 9 a.m. So you can come out and be bejeweled and learn the basics of jewelry making. This class will include bracelets, earrings, and necklaces. It'll be taught in English and Spanish format, and you just need to request if you need the Spanish version. So it's totally free to attend
That's
this.
really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. But they are asking that you RSVP so they can make sure that they have enough supplies and things set out. Again, this is a morning event, so it's at 9 a.m. at Nourish Phoenix.
Wow, it's a shame it's after Mother's Day because it's like what a great thing to do before Mother's Day so that we could make your mom something.
Well, you don't have to see your mother once a year. You can you can go and do this with her or give her a gift after Mother's Day. It's okay.
Okay.
Or you could treat yourself, either way. We've also got Smog City AZ launch at the Casual Pint in Phoenix at 6:30 p.m. Watch out, AZ. Smog City is officially launching into the market, and they're going to be celebrating. So come meet the owner, Lori, and Director of Sales, Kathy, as they tab 8 of their beers. And there's also going to be some trivia. So doors open at 6:30 p.m. Trivia starts at 7. There is no cover. Okay, so Smog City has nothing to do with like checking your emissions or anything.
No, that's what I was trying to figure out. So where is the smog coming in? But
I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway.
are they calling Phoenix Smog City? I thought LA was more of a smog city.
Maybe that has a personal meaning to them that like we don't even know. Bunko time at Scratch Pub and Grill in Mesa at 6 p.m. Ready, get set, and go. You can join in at Scratch Pub and Grill for a fun night of Bunko. If you don't know how to play, you don't have to worry. This event is for all levels. It's super easy to learn.
Okay, there you go. Because I was like, I've never played Bunko. I've heard of Bunko.
It sounds fun, actually. And they say it is. It's fun to play. And make sure you come on down and just talk and throw some dice. It's $5 for a buy-in. So I guess it's betting Bunko.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
And it is a 21 plus event, so we're both good to go, Marshall. Seeing as how we're 100 years old, and the event starts at 6 p.m.
Oh, it's an early one, so you could make it.
Well, Bunko. I mean, wouldn't you think that
Yeah.
it would be early? Yeah. And last but not least, we've got The Art of Notan at the Conscious Creations Art Studio in Surprise at 4:30. So Notan is a primitive art seen hundreds of years ago. It's used in folk art and now graphic design. These designs are created using black and white with hints of gray. They'll explore a variety of exercises of cutting and designing elements of this tradition. You can bring your favorite mixed media sketchbook and various sizes of black pens and just have a great time. It's $35 and it is from 4:30 to 6 p.m. This is off of Dysart Road in Surprise, so a good one for you West Siders out there. Well, we have made it through another show. We survived the Turkey Vulture.
Indeed.
We didn't get vomited on.
No, and still, a Taco Tuesday has come and gone,
I know.
and no tacos for us.
100 episodes, no tacos. Just saying.
Exactly. That's a lot. That's
No,
all.
100. That's like 102 episodes now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's a lot
Jeez.
of episodes and still no tacos.
What failures we are. We can't make this happen.
That's right. We could be, you know, a
Somebody
13-year-old,
please send us some
a
tacos.
13-year-old girl making snow cones, and we can't figure out how to get tacos on a Tuesday.
Oh well, we'll get our lives together. We hope you had fun meeting a turkey vulture with us and hanging out with Liberty Wildlife. Please have a really great day. If you have events, celebrations, things you want us to shout out, you can contact us at
On the Morning Show, or hello at onthemorningshow.com, or on Instagram at On the Morning Show.
That's right.
We'd
And-
love to hear from you. We want to see Ann dance every time an email or any sort of communication comes in from all of you. She does a little jig, kind of like a leprechaun.
Yeah, she'll do a special leprechaun edition today if you email today only.
That's right.
And
That's
a
right.
leprechaun
Limited
dance.
edition.
Yeah.
Leprechaun dance.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to save the date for 602 Day. We'll be taking over the 11th floor at Arizona Center and hosting a really, really fun event. There's going to be more details up soon on our website, so let us know if you want to be involved in that too. You can contact us the same way. There'll also be a form on the website,
Right.
so we're really excited to have that happen. It's going to be a good time.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back for Marshall's favorite day,
That's
Hump
right.
Day.
Tomorrow is Hump Day.
And we'll be
I know,
doing
we'll-
the Humpty dance. And tomorrow we'll do the Humpty dance instead of the
We're just going to
leprechaun
put the
dance.
daily dance
Yeah.
for Ann. We'll have word of the day and daily dance from Ann. There you go.
Okay, bye, friends.